Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CWF Worldwide. The next 2 weeks of CWF Worldwide are devoted to the high-flying junior heavyweights of the Ultra J division. Kicking things off tonight, Show Smooth Chris Lee faces former Ultra J champion Lance Lude. Brad Stutts and Kevin Pierce are in the booth. Kevin Pierce, this is going to be a good one to kick things off this week on Worldwide.
I tell you what, there's not one match that can personify the Ultra J match other than the Ultra J Championship match we're going to see later than Lance Lude and Chris Lee. Because Lance Lude's got that fast-paced style, and I guarantee you if Chris Lee gets his hands on Lude, it's not going to be a pretty evening for Mr. Lude.
That's right. We've got some of the best high flyers in the game in action tonight, and next Wednesday night, Ethan Case defends the Ultra J Championship. If Ethan Case is successful next Wednesday night, he will pass 1 year as champion, and you know that everyone that we're going to see in action this week is a potential contender, a potential challenger to the throne if Ethan Case survives next week, or against whoever leaves next week's championship match as the International Ultra J champion. Chris Lee has never held the title. You gotta think Lance Lude would love to get back there.
I tell you what, the cruel irony of this whole situation was a year ago that it was Lance Lude that lost that Ultra J championship to the current champion Ethan Case. So that's like an extra log thrown in the fire of Lance Lude here, who's being stretched to, good grief, beyond comparison.
One of the most shocking moments in all of CWF Mid-Atlantic history when Ethan Case knocked out Lance Lude to become the International Ultra J champion. And Lance Lude has not held a major championship since. So yeah, it's been 52 weeks almost exactly since that fateful night. Ethan Case has fought through so many potential challengers: Andrew Everett, Cedric Alexander, Chase Dakota, Lance Lude. The list of people that Ethan Case has survived has grown every single week as he travels all over the circuit and all the Pro Wrestling International affiliate organizations. Chris Lee showing a mean streak here and showing that his eyes are on that prize.
I tell you what, we were less than a minute on the air. We were talking about the high fly style of the Ultra J division, and right now Chris Lee is completely grounded Lance Lude. Lance Lude trying to build some offense here.
Might be the best strategy if Lance gets going. When Lance gets going, he is incredibly hard to stop. He's hard to maneuver, and yeah, I do think it is the best strategy to keep Lance Lude on the ground here. And that's exactly what Chris Lee is doing. Fans still filing in to the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium as we are just a couple of weeks removed from the historic 15th annual CWF Rumble. If you have not watched the CWF Rumble in its entirety, Hour 1 featuring amazing matchups from the undercard, such as Lance Lude challenging Marcellus King for the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, and worst case scenario against Trevor Lee and Chet Sterling. Chris Lee gonna go get a hug from Wifey on the outside.
A little bit of R&R for Chris Lee, who now gets back into the ring.
Might need a little TLC. And then week 2 of CWF Rumble coverage was all about that incredible 30-man over-the-top rope matchup.
We'll show respect here. You don't see that too often. Wait a minute.
Oh, he pulled him right back in.
Suckered him right in.
Chris Lee actually had the unlucky distinction of drawing number 1 in that Rumble match. So he's looking to rebound from what had to be a disappointing night. You know, you prepare for the CWF Rumble all year long. You look at it as a humongous opportunity to earn a title shot, but somebody ends up with that fateful number 1. This year it was Chris Lee. He's trying to rebound from what had to be a disappointing look at the draw here, but now it is Lance Lude that is on the arm of Chris Lee. We are seeing more traditional catch-as-catch-can wrestling in this opening contest this week on CWF Worldwide than I would have expected. Almost a tentativeness, almost a conservation to both men, not going all out to the wall like we kind of thought they might.
It may also be a case of everyone here knows what kind of match an Ultra J title match can hold, and they're trying to do anything they can to not use that game plan and use something different. Speaking of which, wait a minute, Chris Lee catches Lude.
Lude might have been going for La Cristo right there. Chris Lee has caught him. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Right into the middle rope. Chris Lee feeling good right now.
Wait a minute, what's he going for here?
Oh, you heard the sound of bone on bone on Lance Lude's skull. Rolls him over into the cover. 2 and oh, Lance Lude almost got knocked out again. Almost 52 weeks to the day that he got knocked out and lost the Ultra J title. It almost happened again, Kevin Pierce.
I love that Chris Lee did not waste any time right there. The minute he hit that move, he slid right in, went right for the pin. That's what you have to do with a guy like Lude. You cannot give him that half inch a second because I guarantee you he will use it against you.
Absolutely. Chris Lee, great binding the arms. Lance Lude trying not to let him have it. Great camera work, taking it right inside the ring. Chris Lee trying to navigate the arms. He's got it grapevine. Going for the leg now. Referee Kane Justice is right there. And he may, Lance Lude, one of the more limber, one of the more flexible guys on the roster, but there's no one that cannot be put in a compromising enough position if you're strong enough.
I was about to say, we may call him Stretch Armstrong by the end of the night. Because he's just getting absolutely ragtagged here.
I think he caught him on a sensitive area there.
He may have got one or two of the chest hairs of Lance Lude there.
Maybe a little nipple action.
You never know. This is a special event, the Ultra Day Showcase. Look out. Ooh. Good Lord. Gonna take him out of the corner now. Chris Lee charges in, misses it.
Hit the buckle hard. Lance Lude looking for his next opportunity, just slugs away. Lance Lude thinking on his feet here. You can almost see the wheels turning inside Lance Lude's head. What's it going to be? Is it going to be one of those high kicks? Is it going to be one of those evasive head scissors? He's going to go to the ropes. It did not pay off, but he knew he wasn't there. Good thinking there. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Tell you what, he's got him up. Look out. Oh, man. Drives Lude right down to that canvas.
Cover. 1, 2. No. Got 2 off the old protoplex.
Impressive move there. I think for Lance Lude, it's going to be one of those situations where he catches him in a whim. He's going to have to catch him with something really quick, something Chris is not ready for. Because Chris is just too big and too powerful in comparison to Lance Lude.
Chris Lee has become really, really good at this dedicated arm work. Chris Lee will torture an arm. He will manipulate the joints. He will do damage to the arms. This right here, one of the most devastating things I see every night if he hits it, if he can connect with it. It's one of the most devastating things that anyone on the roster does. And Chris Lee, like I said, he has learned how to manipulate the arm, the elbow, the wrist, the shoulder into a frenzy. If anything, I think maybe he lacks a big offensive maneuver to tie it all together, perhaps.
Oh, right in the post.
That may play to your point, Kevin Pierce, that we may see one of these guys have to uncork something new or different tonight.
Something that these guys haven't seen from each other, and certainly fans haven't seen. Lude now, the second row with a drop kick.
Caught him right in the chest. Lance Lude, big clothesline, caught him off balance there. He's ragtagging the bigger man right here. Lance Lude does possess surprising striking power. We have seen it time and time again. I remember way back in the day, he took Corey Edsel off his feet when Edsel weighed upwards of 400 pounds. Big moonsault, center of the ring, cover! Ooh, did not get him.
Chris Lee did everything he could to get that left shoulder off the canvas. He shot it straight up to the sky. Referee Kane Justice Singh had calling for a 2 count. Lude, I think Lude is starting to get a little either confused or worried as to what he has to do to beat. Oh, wow. Chris Lee here.
We haven't really touched on it. We touched on what happened a year ago. We have not touched on the year that Lance Lude had since then. A devastating injury that took him out of the sport. Sitting at home, sitting on the sidelines, full of self-doubt, full of regret, wondering if he would ever even get a chance to get back in the ring. Lance Lude has battled his demons, and one of those demons is self-confidence. When you're sidelined with a massive injury like that, Lude did not get the soul food. Lance Lude did not let him have the soul food. Hold on, pace may be quickening here. Into the tornado DDT. Chris Lee caught him. There's that size advantage. Chris Lee. Ooh!
Wow. Okay. Well, that's completely on the referee there.
Yeah, referee's discretion. You would know better than anybody.
And in an important event like this, you really don't want to disqualify anybody. Oh man!
Caught that soul food on the second attempt. Chris Lee Goes for the cover. Kane Justice has got to make sure they're out of the ropes. Ooh,
nice.
Close. Not really great thinking on the part of Chris Lee there. Should have pulled him to the center, but that trade-off there, you waste valuable seconds.
Well, here's the thing about it. The ring awareness, you're absolutely right. But it's not even so much touching the ropes. The minute your foot breaks the barrier of those ropes, it is considered null and void.
Absolutely. That will negate the pinfall. To the buckle goes Lance Lude. Fire away from Chris Lee.
As you got on here.
As we were talking about a few moments ago, Lance Lude still wrestling with those demons, so to speak. The issues of self-confidence. Can he still go? Is he still one of the best in the game? He's trying to prove it to himself every single night. He went toe-to-toe with the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, one of the hardest fought matches of the year. Now he's going toe-to-toe with one of the best young wrestlers on the circuit. Lude awakening. No. Chris Lee too strong.
Got out of it.
Trouble in Paradise got nothing.
Ducked it.
Oh, going right back to it. Going right back to it. Heads up.
Is he gonna?
Ooh, went to the ropes again. Chris Lee trying to use the ropes to his advantage here. Lance Lude, hold on, no look. There we go, tornado DDT. Second or third time that Lance Lude has tried it, and he got it on that next attempt.
Lude may have him here. All he's got to do is pin him. Going for the cover. Referee there. 1, 2. No.
Only got 2.
Wow. And that was in Chris Lee's advantage, how close he was to the ropes right there, because as he kicked out, he could have just went right out to the floor and maybe saved himself a few more seconds. See a lot of guys do that. Try to create that distance.
Lance going up. What's it gonna be here? So many amazing high-risk maneuvers that come from this man. Ooh, he kicked him right in the mouth. Ooh, that might be a KO. Lance Lude from the top rope may not know where he is at this point in time.
This has got to be instincts with him fighting back. He got nailed right on the jaw, right on the button.
Oh no, he's still got a spring in his step. Oh, Chris Lee will outstrike just about anybody. The strikes of Chris Lee proven to be the difference maker in this matchup so far, but Lance Lude will not be denied.
He will not give up. He's fighting back for everything he's got. Off the top comes Lude.
Oh, he caught him.
No.
He caught him in the Dragon Rana. Oh, he flipped through.
He got it
away. Chris Lee holding him down with the power. And he got him. Huge victory for Chris Lee in a hard-fought contest between two amazing, unbelievable athletes. Both men needed a win. Chris Lee picks it up tonight.
12 minutes, 39 seconds, winner by pinfall. So smooth, Chris Lee.
Ultimate Survivor, Ethan A. Sharp and Darius Lockhart will take on Ethan Case's team, and joining the ranks of Sharp Industries, I present to you the furious Michael McAllister and the voluptuous hellhound herself, Sis.
Yes, look. Let's just be honest about it. Tonight you're wrestling Roy Wilkins. The greatest technical wrestler alive today. It's an honor for you just to be in the ring with Roy again. And he can just break you down, he never cheats, and just beat you, and then that's the end. He never cheats. Never. Me, on the other hand, if some miracle was to happen and the Red Sea divided and you went all the way through and beat Roy Wilkins, you would have to wrestle me. Look, I'm not a technical wrestler. I just cheat. I cheat, I steal, and I lie. And if you get in a ring with me, what? Look, you're not even going to get a chance to wrestle me anyway. But if you did, I would probably end your career.
If Roy Wilkins wins tonight, he will take one of the best young high flyers in the game completely out of it, because Jesse Adler will be forbidden to use the top rope in any capacity in his matches if Roy Wilkins wins tonight. Kevin Pierce, the coach, is looking to eliminate all that high-flying offense from Adler. The 450 splash, the shooting star, the springboards, all the amazing maneuvers that Jesse Adler has been taught by people like Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee. The coach is looking to eliminate them tonight. If Wilkins wins it, Jesse Adler can no longer use the top rope.
You talk about lighting a fire underneath somebody. You take somebody like Jesse Adler, who 75–80% of his offense is off of that top rope. You eliminate his game plan right there. So you mean to tell me somebody like Jesse Adler is going to be able, at this stage in the game, to be able to flip the script and just change his offense completely just on a whim? I say nay, nay. But Roy Wilkins, right now, he's got the chance of a lifetime, because if he somehow were to be able to be beaten by Jesse Adler right here on CWF Worldwide, like you said, the cameras will be rolling, he will have that match with the coach.
Oh, yeah.
And that's got to just be the best Christmas present, or present for any reason,
Oh, yeah.
that Jesse Adler could ask for.
I assure you, if Jesse Adler wins this thing and goes one-on-one with the coach, we will not miss that one for the world. That matchup will be broadcast in its entirety on CWF Worldwide. Collar and elbow tie-up. Wilkins will look to slow it down perpetually throughout the contest. Roy Wilkins will look to slow it down. Jesse Adler will look to fight out of it, and Jesse Adler, much like we saw earlier in the night with Lance Lude, Jesse Adler will look to keep the pace quick.
All right, so correct me if I'm wrong here. We've got a former Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion in the ring right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is a level, and this is no disrespect to Jesse Adler, but that's a level he hasn't been to just yet. So you got to wonder if intimidation is going to play a key here for Adler when he faces somebody like Wilkins, who's had that experience and has been to that big dance.
You would think so, but earlier this summer, you flash back to the Weaver Cup tournament. In less than 30 days, Jesse Adler pinned two former Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champions in the course of that Weaver Cup tournament. Kamakazi Kid in the first round, Lee Valiant in the second round, and he was matched with another former Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion in Wilkins that eventually saw Jesse Adler eliminated from the tournament, that Wilkins would go on to win. So, I don't know. Are there butterflies in the stomach? Yeah, probably. But he may not be as intimidated as you think because of those great victories that he picked up over the summer against former Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champions, guys that have been at Wilkins' level. I can't get inside his head, I don't know. Yeah, the butterflies probably all are still there, but man, Adler's confidence grows with every single matchup. Wait a minute, cradle, good thinking.
Oh, only two. And Adler, that's what he's got to do. He's got to come in quick. He can't argue with the referee here, look out.
Not to mention, it was just, 7 days ago, 1 week ago on CWF Worldwide that we saw Jesse Adler pick up another huge win when he defeated Chase Owens of the Bullet Club.
I tell you what, an intense match that was. And right now, Wilkins is on the floor. It's bad enough that you have to face a former Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion like Wilkins. When you got the coach on the floor, it doesn't help anything. Look out!
Woo-hoo, into the third row. You heard him crash against the chairs.
And there's no comfortable place to land out there. There's nothing but concrete and steel chairs.
Crowd coming up for Jesse Adler, and what a career-making year this young man has had. Hold on, eyes on the coach. Eyes on the coach. The coach sends him all the way to the floor.
The referee was talking with Wilkins there, had his back turned, did not see that. And now the coach going to throw Adler back in the ring. Adler hit that floor hard. Roy going to go for it. 1, 2, and no. The current RGL champion gets that shoulder off the canvas.
Wilkins standing tall thanks to the assist from coach. A minute ago I was going to talk about the amazing year that Jesse Adler has had. Listen to this. Now granted, he's a rookie. He's not even 20 years old yet. He's won some and he's lost some. But listen to this. In this year, Jesse Adler has competed one-on-one against Adam Page, new NXT recruit Levance Valenzuela, John Skyler, Lee Valiant, Kamakazi Kid, Roy Wilkins, Chase Owens, and more. So many well-traveled national and international stars that this young man has locked up with, up to and including this guy's at the Mid-Atlantic Dojo every single week training with Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee. This guy has been in the ring with so many world-class athletes in the past 10 or 11 months. It's unbelievable.
I tell you what, that's an excellent point, but here's a counter-argument to that is you can have all the knowledge in the world, you can have the secret to life right in front of you, but if you don't know how to read, it's pointless. If you cannot execute these moves that you see and you learn every time you go out on the road and every time you're here at the CWF Sportatorium, it's pointless. So we got to see if he's able to execute that knowledge that he's learned from the greats, like you mentioned, of Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee and the many more.
If you don't learn from Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee, you may not be able to be coached. If you want to join Jesse Adler at the Mid-Atlantic Dojo, all the information is at CWF247.com as we see the coach take a cheap shot on the outside. Our world-class training facility right here in the shadows of the Greensboro Coliseum, where you will learn firsthand from Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, Arik Royal, and so many more. Bad attitude.
Absolutely, it's a great place to learn, and feel free to move into town whenever you want to. And join us right here at Sportatorium.
Moonlight Drive. No, did not get the Moonlight Drive. Adler maybe looking for that combination. He loves the neck breaker followed by the shooting star. Wilkins would not let him have it. Adler charging. Oh, he ate the buckle. Oh, he ate the buckle. Big mistake from that young man.
He was going for a splash and he got good grief.
Shining Wizard almost took his head off.
We were talking about positioning earlier. Gets him away from those ropes.
Perfect. Boy, Wilkins is so good. Wilkins is so good and so smooth. Never a half second off in his timing. Never a half step out of place in the ring. Wilkins is as smooth and as fluid and as professional a professional wrestler there is. If he wasn't attached to the coach, who knows how far he could go in his career.
Well, I think the coach is doing a great job with Wilkins here. I mean, he's shown him not only how to be more aggressive, but how to take that aggression and build it towards championships.
Wilkins has been a decorated champion, former Rising Generation League champion, former television champion. 3 times he has been the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team champion, winner of the 2012 CWF Rumble, winner of the 2015 Weaver Cup, and a former Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight champion. Wilkins is the only Grand Slam champion in CWF Mid-Atlantic history, and all but I think 1 or 2 of those came under the tutelage of the coach.
There you go. Thanks to the coach, his trophy case only gets bigger.
Could be the golf swing, could be the Moonlight Drive.
What's he going for?
We'll never know. What was he going for? Look at some fire come out of Jesse Adler.
That's what Jesse's got to do. He's got to keep that train rolling, get on that bicycle and ride.
Right in the chest.
Right in the sternum, man. Knocked the air right out of him.
Wilkins is backing off. Wilkins does not want any more of the current Rising Generation League champion. Wilkins held it about a decade ago. Adler holds it today. The buckle again. The buckles really used by perfection by Wilkins in this one to really try to wear down this young man.
Adler will fly, and he catches.
Caught him. 1, 2. What is the coach doing? Get the coach off the apron.
Coach cannot be there. You're absolutely right.
I am begging security at ringside to do its damn job and keep people like the coach from getting in the ring.
Well, the referee's got a tough job here because he not only got to worry about the 2 individuals in the ring, but the coach on the outside of the ring.
Wilkins trying to fight out. Wilkins could be going for the upper Murray water slide. If he hits this, he beat him in the Weaver Cup with this right here. No! Adler slipped out. Adler's going for that combination.
He's got him down.
He likes the neck breaker followed by the shooting star. Got him with it.
He beat Chase Owens with it last night.
No cover, no cover. What's he going to do here? He did not go for the cover.
Wait a minute, this may be a mistake.
Oh, Adler says he's going up. It's all about the high-flying Ultra J tonight, and Adler says he is going to go up.
What's he going to do here?
Wait, hold on. Hold on, head of security, Snooty Fox has got the coach.
Hey!
Head of security, Snooty Fox has got the coach.
Coach is gone.
Coach is gone. Adler is on the top rope.
No way.
Hold on. No! victory. And, oh my God, coming up soon, we will see Jesse Adler go one-on-one against the coach.
10 minutes, 40 seconds, you winner by pinfall, Jesse Adler!
See how I'm coming more like off my hip? And right, you were like if this arm's going up on lunge here. The little things that makes you money. It's the little things that make people talk about you. No matter what, it's still gonna hurt.
You don't want that,
Smith Garrett!
And here we go, Kevin Pierce. Months and months of aggravation between these two men, Smith Garrett and the upstart, Darius Lockhart. They are going at it already here in this one. Here we go. Bullet 2 and 2.
I tell you what, those are some big, heavy hands from Smith Garrett. He came out here with a purpose. Smith Garrett knows what he wants out of Darius Lockhart, and that's a chunk out of his rear end. Look out!
Oh, big chop right to the chest.
And a second one, good grief.
Another one.
That'll peel the skin right off your chest if you let it.
Goofy Kane Justice got so perclipped he never even called for the bell to start this thing.
Look out!
The timekeeper had to do it. He gets a little out of sorts when guys are brawling all around him.
I'll tell you what, when you got fists flying left and right, you got to be more worried about the knockouts that could follow as opposed to the bell sometimes, but at the end of the day, you got a job to do.
When you talk about knockouts, it was an in-ring knockout that started this whole situation when Smith Garrett suffered what at the time we thought was at least a career-threatening injury, if not a career-ending injury.
And it didn't help anything when he had the match with Cedric Alexander and he ended up cracking his head on the floor out here.
Absolutely, just so much abuse that his body has taken as he chases this dream. And while he was out with injury, for whatever reason, we still don't really know why, Darius Lockhart made it a mission to mock Smith Garrett relentlessly over and over and over again to mock his injury.
All I did was get under the skin of Smith, and good grief. Referee needs to admonish him for that closed fist there, and a second one. This could just, the heavy shots here. You can only take so much. And now Smith,
Well, they clanked heads.
Wait a minute.
They clanked heads. Lockhart falls into the ring. Smith Garrett falls out of the ring.
And that's in Darius's favor where he landed, because right now we could almost have a count out.
Absolutely. Darius Lockhart could win this thing. Pretty much a fluke. And you very rarely hear somebody truly say that, but in this case, it would genuinely be a fluke.
That is one skull hitting another skull, and that would knock you out in a heartbeat. And Darius still doesn't seem like he knows where he is. And Smith, he says, I can't even see him from here.
He may not make it back in. Count is up to 7.
Wow.
Starting to see him.
Now you just saw that. You just saw that. He grabbed his head. He may have re-aggravated that injury. If that doesn't do it.
It was not an energetic re-entry to the ring. It was very slow.
Oh wow.
I don't like the look on Smith Garrett's face. Trevor.
Oh man.
Ooh, Smith Garrett looks like his eyes are a little glassy here.
His hand. Look at his hand. He almost can't defend himself. Ooh.
Kane Justice needs to look at stopping it. Kevin Pierce, you can attest to this. It's a series of commands. If the wrestler cannot answer your commands, if he cannot get his hands up to defend himself, where do you know where you are? Do you know what's going on? If he's not aware of his surroundings, if he cannot defend himself, you got to look at potentially stopping it. Is Kane Justice being a little too lackadaisical here and not going in and really checking on the welfare of the man?
Well, and that's where you kind of run into a catch-22 because, yeah, that may be the issue, but at the same time, on a night as big as this with the Ultra J Showcase, do you want to stop a match like that? Do you want to, in turn, cost somebody a shot at a championship or a future title shot? There's so many different things you have to weigh, and it really just, I guess Oh, and another big shot by Darius. It really depends on the referee.
That's a great point. The rankings for the International Ultra J Championship for, really the next, 3 months, 6 months maybe, will be determined tonight by, who wins and losses in this matches and the follow-up to this big event. All eyes are on the Ultra J Championship. Once again, next Wednesday night, Ethan Case will defend the championship. If he survives, he will pass 1 year as champion. Lockhart is focusing in on the head and the neck. Not only does that twist the neck and drop you at an awkward angle, it drops the back of his head hard against the canvas.
Well, you just saw the look on Darius' face. He's not only looking to prove a point, he's almost looking to embarrass this guy. Smith's down. 2. Oh!
Ooh, those kickouts are very slow. They are not coming fast. Those kickouts are not very energetic. Smith Garrett, we questioned if he came back too soon at the Rumble. We said he took a chance, and it paid off big. Smith Garrett has fought through so many injuries. He really takes a chance every single time he steps in between those ropes.
And to your point earlier, when it comes to a referee stoppage, it is completely up to the referee's discretion. But when you have somebody like Smith who's had injuries of the brain, concussions, because a concussion, plain and simple, is just a bruised brain. That's all it is. And if you know anything about a concussion, you know that you can't move your fingers, your arms become immobile. So as a referee, those are things you have to check for before you even think about stopping it. Yeah, but right now you see Smith, he's got his arms moving, he's got his fingers going, so he seems to be doing okay at this point, but it still seems like he's got that fogginess across him. No.
You say that's all it is, and I understand the concept of simplifying it for the viewer, but that's a horrific injury. That's
absolutely.
When you say that's all it is, we have seen careers end. Coach Gemini, believe it or not, back about 10 years ago, Coach Gemini was a hell of a wrestler. Now, his brains are jello due to multiple concussions. Oh God, speaking of multiple concussions, he hit Smith Garrett right in the face. Two. Whoa! That one was close. Smith Garrett is still fighting. He is fighting. You see the look in his eyes. You wonder if the room is getting hazy. You wonder if he is fully aware of his surroundings. And Lockhart just continues to attack.
Just pounds it out here. Darius, relentless with Smith. And now he's just toying with him.
You're starting to hear the concern in the crowd for the welfare of Smith Garrett. What was a very lively, energetic room has been not completely silenced. They're still there. They still want to see it. But the feeling of concern for Smith Garrett's well-being in this room is palpable.
Absolutely. And right now, he's trying to power out. Smith's got it. And he just catches him right in the back of the neck. Smith Garrett's going to charge at him.
Smith Garrett on the ropes, literally a grazing blow with the elbows, all he could get. Good neck breaker, but he could not follow up.
Both men are down. Darius clutching the back of his head. Smith seems to be worse for wear as well.
Both men down. These are two amazing young athletes.
And you got to wonder how much energy was sapped out of Smith, because he came out here with a house of fire and he went charging right at Darius. You think he may have sort of worn himself out a little too soon here?
Maybe. He's in great shape, but other than that CWF Rumble a couple of weeks back, he's not been in the ring in a couple of months. And you can attest to it, Kevin Pierce. A treadmill is not like being in the ring. There's nothing like being in ring shape. But look at these two. Look at the aggression between these two young athletes.
Darius says, bring it on, and Smith says, I will oblige.
They are duking it out here. Smith Garrett getting the upper hand. Ooh, good thinking.
Oh, wow.
That is exactly how Darius Lockhart stopped the rampaging Aaron Biggs in the CWF Rumble. Was that low kick to the knee. Angle slam. Yes, sir.
He nailed him. Almost in the center of the ring. Perfect positioning.
One, two. No. I don't know. Grant Sawyer getting a great shot right there. Even after Smith Garrett landed after the angle slam, you could see a little bit of disorientation on his face, a little bit of glaze in his eyes, so to speak.
First thing about that angle slam is the first part of your body that hits is the back of your head. And Smith seems to he's going to charge in.
Oh, 2 feet right in the face.
And you saw his hands, they were low.
2 feet right in the face. Smith Garrett may be hurt here. Ooh,
This is not good.
Smith Garrett's in bad shape. Lockhart. Oh, running knee. And Smith Garrett, the lights may have just been dimmed.
I told everyone in here, you came back too soon, Smith.
Smith Garrett is not moving.
Referee might want to check on
Smith
that.
Garrett is not moving in the ring. Cover. Two.
Oh,
Smith Garrett into the crucifix. He got him. Oh, Smith Garrett was playing possum. Using what we all knew about him to his advantage. Smith Garrett may have just roped a dope.
What a maneuver! How smart was Smith right there? Look out!
Whoop. Oh, Smith Garrett just won the Rumble again.
8 minutes, 41 seconds, your winner, Smith Garrett!
How many of you here follow us on Twitter and on Facebook? For anyone that doesn't, the announcement was made earlier this week that the main event of Ultimate Survivor right here in this building on Friday night, November the 20th, will be Lee Valiant and Arik Royal captaining teams in the Cage of Death. We will name the teams right here tonight, so wherever they are lurking, I'm going to call for the Riot to name their team.
The fact of the matter is, Lee Valiant is not here tonight. So he sent me to tell you who he has chosen for Cage of Death. He has chosen himself, of course, me, and one that I'm sure you people are going to care a lot about, Nick Richards.
Oh yeah. That's the man. I bet he don't show up. Bring him out. Well, you up, piece of crap. Nick don't want to help you.
Well, I see him coming through the lobby, so we're going.
You could have just asked. You don't need to write, Nick. You'd have to make some big announcement. He screwed you out of the belt, Nick.
Honestly, I don't know how these guys feel about me. But I do know that they know
Levi screwed you twice.
as long as I've been here, I've never backed down from a fight. I've never said no to a cage. But what I'm wondering is why? Why would I ever team with you or Lee?
Nick, I'll tell you exactly why you're going to team with me and Lee in this Cage of Death. You remember when we started this thing? We got you. We got you because you would fight anybody at the drop of a dime. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right, aren't I?
Hey, Nick.
When we ran roughshod through that locker room, you were with us every step of the way. So guess what? The blood is on your hands too.
They screwed you out of the belt, Nick.
Besides, Nick, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you scared of cages now? Has the fact that these people started cheering for you made you a little soft?
Nick, he screwed you out of the belt, Nick. Show it.
Join us.
Nick, he stabbed you in the back, Nick.
I know how this works. But here's the thing that you need to know and you might need to go back to Virginia and remind your friend. Because I know that his brain has been swimming around in the cesspool of narcotics for the past few years. So make it pretty clear. And when it gets down deep in it, I hope you boys are fast enough. Because you know, if you don't make it over the top, any of us can fight any of us.
That's fine, Nick. Nick, that's fine. You need to realize one thing, though.
Are they done having their little soap opera drama? Because I'm tired of this crap anyway. So you guys pick your team. You got Aric Andrews over here, you got Nick Richards, and you got that Trevor Lee Valiant who's hiding at home from that ass whooping I gave him at the Rumble. So I'm just gonna skip straight to it. You wanna know what my team is? Because I really don't care who you guys pick. Because the number one guy on my team, well, it can't be me, obviously. I'm already on the team. So, the number one draft pick for my squad, you know, is the assassin, Ric Kandrack. We done had some wars up in this ring here, and I know he's down to ride with me in that cage. And the next person on my team, and this one is especially for you, Aric Andrews.
I apologize for blindsiding you like this, Ace.
Hasn't been the first time this year I've been blindsided. It's okay.
I know it's not right, but you're my brother. I think you have an idea what I'm out here to ask.
We want Nick! We want Nick!
And I hope you understand why I need to ask.
We want Nick!
As far as why I'm asking it here and now, it has to be here, in front of our people, with the cameras rolling, because there has to be a record. The man can say yes or the man can say no, but there has to be a record that I ask. No! A record that at long last, I did not run from this. I'm so tired of running, Ace. I've passed the point where the running takes more out of me than the fighting. It takes something out of my soul. 4 years of staying out of it. Standing by and watching while good people get hurt. 4 years of tossing and turning at night, knowing that doing nothing made me an accomplice. And our fans, our people, when you just chanted my name, that used to be the sweetest music these ears could hear. Now, it's a rusty blade twisting in my gut because I know I don't deserve it. You've given me love and nothing but. I've given you 4 years of disappointment and shame. You deserve better. And I mean to give you something better. I haven't wrestled in 4 years, not because of the health concerns, though we're all aware of them. And not because some piece of paper says I can't wrestle. I haven't wrestled because I made a promise to one man. I said, if you beat me, I will never wrestle again. And he beat me. The fact that I hate that man doesn't make keeping the promise less important. It makes it more important, and I will not break my word. So I'm asking, and God knows how desperate I must be to ask Ray Kandrack for anything. But I'm addressing you directly now, Ray, because I am asking. And I know it's a lot to ask. Much as it kills me to say it, I know you worked hard. I know you earned the right to have my head mounted on your wall. But I'm asking, be the man I never thought you could be then. The man I pray you are now. It's been 4 years, Ray. I've done my time. Release me from my vow. I want to fight! Please.
Will you have it's not up to me.
You want to see this fight? You want to see this fight with me and Ray in this cage? It's not up to me. It's not up to me, Mitch. It's up to Ray Kandrack. He's the one that you made that promise to. Now I guess we got to go back here and try to get in contact with him to go ahead and try to see if this is going to happen.
I hope we can do this again, Ace.
Nick!
Ethan Sharp, I know you're bringing Sharp Industries into this match at Ultimate Survivor, and I heard the guys that you're already listing off. And I heard that you listed off 2 people. But see, I don't have to do that because Bubba Club is coming in. Myself, Smith Garrett, and one of the most decorated wrestlers to ever come out of CWF Mid-Atlantic, Brad Attitude. The 3 of us, plus our other 5 teammates, are going to walk out victorious in the 2015 Tornado El Generico, and that is case closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your CWF Mid-Atlantic Television Champion, Chet Sterling!
Bell sounds, we are up and running. 1 fall, 10-minute television time limit in this one as Chet Sterling, the man who has been a double champion in CWF for longer than anyone else in history. He is not the first man to hold 2 titles simultaneously, but he has held both of them for the longest as he goes one-on-one with the Kamakazi Kid. A little bit of CWF Mid-Atlantic trivia. This is the only championship belt that Kazi has never held in CWF Mid-Atlantic. RGL champ, television champ, RGL champ, tag champ, heavyweight champ, has never been the television champion. So very interesting. And of course, ever since the Kamakazi Kid came under the tutelage of Coach Gemini, he has been a very interesting story. And Kevin Pierce tonight, we see Kamakazi Kid wearing the colors of the All-Stars. Very unusual. We don't know if that's his choice or the coach's influence, but he is wearing the jersey of the All-Stars here in this television title matchup.
I tell you what, we referenced it earlier with Roy Wilkins. Ever since Coach took him under his wing, it was championships galore. And I think he may have the same sights for Kazi here, but is Kazi willing to listen? That's the question.
Sterling tries to slip out. That is the question. Kazi's got a firm hold of that wrist. And Sterling goes into the headlock. Cranking on the head here.
And we talked about earlier how you can't have any better trainers than Andrew Everett or Trevor Lee when it comes to breaking into this business. And well, how much better does it get for Chet Sterling to tag with one of those 2 gentlemen in Trevor Lee as one half of the tag team champions? Good grief.
Oh, absolutely. It was a couple of years back that Chet Sterling was chosen by Trevor Lee. Oh, hold on, pace quickening here. Chet Sterling takes him to the canvas. It was a couple of years back that Chet Sterling was chosen by Trevor Lee to be his apprentice. And they would ultimately usurp the group known as the Aftermath from William L. Cross. Our longtime fans remember the Aftermath as William L. Cross, Ric Converse, Cyrus, Marcellus King, Jackson Dame, Solomon Spades, Ryan O'Reilly. That was William L. Cross's group that Trevor Lee and Chet Sterling ultimately usurped out from under him, and they pretty much ran everyone that was affiliated with the Aftermath at the time out of town and claimed the name as their own.
Chet Sterling right now has been able to maintain control, at least for a little bit here. And Kazi, he's one of those guys that's kind of deceptive because he is a high flyer, but he is a big guy. I mean, he's not a small man by any means.
When we first saw Kazi back, over a decade ago, something like over 13 years ago, you know, he was undersized. He was a young man, and we have literally seen him mature in front of our very eyes with every defying moment, with every unbelievable matchup. We have seen Kamakazi Kid grow from a boy to a man in front of our very eyes, and now he finds himself in the unfamiliar role. Oh, great quick out from the champ! Good Lord! That was sudden from the television champion Chet Sterling. Now Kazi finds himself in the very unfamiliar role of some fans booing him because of his forced association with the coach.
And you know they can't make him happy, and that will make Chet Sterling happy right there. Hung him up to dry.
It was back in June when Kamakazi Kid lost the stipulation match to Roy Wilkins that dictated that Kazi must join the All-Stars. Specifically, it dictated that Kazi be the low man on the totem pole, below even Chappie in the coach's batting order, so to speak. And, you know, we've seen Kazi really kind of go into a dark place in the past few months. This is a guy that, in a lot of ways, used to be very lively, very social, you know? Would always be at the gatherings after the live events.
That'll tear a collarbone in a heartbeat.
If there was somebody's birthday or a party or a house party or something, Kazi was always there. Kazi was always lively. The last few months, ever since this association with Coach Gemini, he's pulled back. He's kept to himself. He's become introverted, more quiet. Not the Kazi that we are used to seeing. Clearly, a lot of internal turmoil going on inside the mind of the Kamakazi Kid.
I tell you what, you got to wonder if he's slightly disappointed in himself and having to do all these things, but I mean, it's a contract. He's got to live up to it. Oh, look, good, wow. There's no comfortable way to land on that turnbuckle. The camera really doesn't do it justice. It's only about a half-inch worth of pad over a steel bolt. I mean, it's not going to be, that's not going to help anything.
That hurts. No matter what happens, that hurts. Cover two. Ooh, that one got close. That one got real close, real fast.
Sterling was close to the ropes, but you saw Kazi just fold him up like an accordion right there and get him as far away from the ropes as possible to try and get a near fall.
Kazi standing over the television champion. Both men must be mindful of the 10-minute television time limit here.
Now, we talked about it earlier with the Roy Wilkins match again, with Coach being out there as a distraction, and with Kazi sort of being the forced labor here. You got to wonder if Coach is also an irritant to Kazi.
That's a great point.
If that's going to throw him off.
That's a great point. He's not used to having the coach in his corner like, say, Roy Wilkins is.
Chet Sterling just trying to mount an offense, and Kazi just cuts him off every time. What's he going for here? Shoots him off into the ropes. Kazi catches him with a kick.
Yes, he did. It's the ropes. Oh! Woo, the prettiest punch we have seen all night.
You talk about a nose breaker. That'll take your nose right off your face.
Woo-wee, the prettiest punch we've seen all night. Oh,
a lot of the efforts tonight have been on the head and the face of these competitors. I guess a lot of guys are going for that knockout, a tribute to 1 year ago. Or excuse me, a week from now, a year ago, when Ethan Case won the match against Lance Lude to become the champion.
T-bone suplex, sometimes called an exploder. Kazi
knew exactly where he was. You saw that.
Yeah, he did. He slipped underneath the bottom rope. Good thinking on the part of the Kamakazi Kid.
And now, Chet trying to get these people behind him. Doesn't take much to do that. Now Kazi just caught him.
Boy, how much do these people love Chet Sterling?
They are on their feet every time he comes out. It's just, the response is deafening, and Kazi just took the wind out of all of their sails. Now watch Coach here.
Kazi.
Now we saw this at the Rumble. A lot of bad things can happen when you hit that apron. What's Kazi going for here?
Hook the rope. Ooh, very dangerous with both men on the outside, like come crashing down to the floor in a heartbeat. Ooh, Sterling avoids whatever Kazi was going for. Ow. Kazi cracked him right in the side of the head.
Now Kazi, looks like he's gonna, no! Oh, head first on the apron.
Yes, sir. Chet Sterling with tremendous quickness off the apron. Right into Kazi's sternum.
Kazi's down. The referee's got his count going. They're up to a 2 count at this point. And Sterling's got to get Kazi back in the ring until he can beat him.
Time becoming of the essence with this 10-minute television time limit. Sterling climbing in here. Needs to wrap him up quick. We're going to be, we're under 2 minutes in this thing. We're about to be at 90 seconds left.
Absolutely, right now, yeah.
Boot to the face.
And this is that crunch time you see a lot of times. The guy's trying to hit big moves.
Oh, he hit the leg lariat off the ropes. Cover. Oh, brother, that one was close.
Red saying it was only 2.
Sterling gonna go up again, perhaps. Gonna at least attempt it.
If at first you don't succeed, try again, and Chet's gonna stick with that. Now wait a minute, Kazi with a shot right in the boiler. No, and another shot to the jaw, and repeated blows by Chet Sterling, and a headbutt. What's he gonna go for? No, it caught him!
Oh, he did catch him!
Oh, this is not good, look out! Oh.
Good Lord, what a power bomb!
Kazi's got what?
Coach is calling for the cover! Coach is calling for the cover!
What's Kazi doing?
Kazi's going to the top! Coach is calling for the cover, but Kazi's going to the top! Kazi's gonna go for it all here! Kazi's gonna go off, it could be the big frog splash!
Can he hit it?
Oh! He caught the knees! Kazi catches the knees! Sterling!
Wait a minute!
Oh, he's not cradle! Starts it and beats him! Chet Sterling retains the Mid-Atlantic Television Championship! But Kevin Pierce, he defied the coach. Coach called for the cover. Kazi went to the top rope.
9 minutes, 45 seconds, your winner by pinfall. And still, CWF Mid-Atlantic Television Champion, Chet Sterling!
Kevin Pierce, are there going to be requisitions for Kazi? He defied the coach.
It cannot be good. We've seen the coach angry, and that is not a position that you want to find yourself in. Kazi had the opportunity, coach told him to pin, but Kazi wanted to go for that Ultra J showcase.
And even underneath the mask, you can see the disappointment on the face of the increasingly frustrated Kamakazi Kid.